All right. Welcome back to OBB. Hopefully, everyone had a good weekend. I know I did. Zach is in the building for another episode now, episode 13.
13, man.
Um, any starting words? Just some inspiration for the pod?
No, have bad words actually. Um, Kyrie Irving's hurt. Nets are falling apart. At least I said a prayer, but hopefully the Nets will do better.
Well, that's good. That leads us right into our first topic.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Khalil, dive right into it. You know how we do it.
So, is Brooklyn in trouble?
Well, let's ask Zach first.
100%.
Why?
Kyrie Irving makes the most biggest shots like he did for LeBron, and then KD's the new LeBron, but KD's still better at the same time though. But without Kyrie, he's gonna get triple team, double team, and he can't do everything on his own. And the role players are not stepping up.
You don't trust in them to step up?
They're not. They should have stepped up last game. Like literally, Shamit, trash. I thought he was nice. Bruce Brown wasn't doing good. Jeff Green was looking like he was a grandpa still. And
Uncle Jeff.
Uncle Jeff.
Uncle Jeff.
I don't know what he was doing.
Uncle Jeff.
And I don't understand why Steve Nash benched Blake Griffin in the fourth quarter. He benched him.
Yeah, he did. He
did not.
I
bench him.
disagree
He
with
benched
that
him.
too.
Really?
2 games in a
Why,
row.
why would he not play? The
No,
fourth
I
quarter?
disagreed with him benching Blake
like-
Griffin. Yeah.
Like, how come how come he was sitting the whole game? No, the whole fourth quarter. That didn't make any sense.
It didn't.
I don't know. So what I have to say about just like if they're in trouble or not. I'm not gonna say that they're in trouble yet because I don't know about the status on Harden playing in Game 5. I know Kyrie's out for
Probably
Game
not.
5. It's probably not, but we'll see.
Harden's out.
And,
Kyrie's out officially.
I know. And then they still have Kevin Durant with shooters around him, so I can't count them out. They're gonna need a lot of guys to step up, but with a guy like Kevin Durant on your team, I'm not completely scared if I'm Brooklyn. Same deal with Kyrie here, though. Like, his ankle, it was a terrible roll, but there was no
Damage.
– it was just a sprain, which sprains are really bad.
He needs to hit the weight room immediately.
I just don't know if he can play in Game 5. He's out, but if there was a way for – like, maybe this is more serious than we thought because if
He
you
was in
can't
a
play in
booth
Game
leaving
5
the arena.
– if you can't play in Game 5, then you probably shouldn't be able to play in Game 6 with a sprain.
I mean, thank God it is only a sprain, so maybe that day does do something.
Hopefully. So I wouldn't say they're in trouble, but, I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. I trust in KD, though.
I took it a little different. I said the Nets are in serious trouble. I mean, especially now the Bucks just won 2 straight. Momentum's on their side. Plus, they're down Kyrie Irving. And the only reason why, actually, they're not in serious trouble, but they're in trouble. They're not serious trouble, but they're in trouble because we've seen Milwaukee come up short in big moments too. So with that being said, Milwaukee has to really seize this moment and make sure that they take advantage of Kyrie Irving not being out there.
They got to win on the road, too.
And for
So they
KD
gotta
to
go.
win, for the Brooklyn Nets to win, KD has to be special.
This has to be,
He has to be
Kevin Durant.
He can't just beat Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is 35. I'll take 35. They can still win.
He can't just beat Kevin Durant. This can actually hurt KD's legacy if he loses this first round.
It probably would.
The second round, excuse me. This can actually hurt his legacy. Kevin Durant went to Golden State to be mentioned with guys like LeBron. And to say he has 2 rings and he's beat LeBron twice, but at the end of the day, can you do it without 2 other all-time great players? We've seen LeBron do it, not so much win a title, but at least make it to the finals, at least. And so we'll see. KD, this can really hurt Kevin Durant's legacy right here.
You think KD could carry the Nets to a win in the series?
Absolutely not.
Really?
They can, literally, what I was watching, bro, they don't know what they're doing, if I'm going to be honest. You got to be able to shoot the ball. They weren't shooting the ball at all. They weren't able to shoot the ball at all, bro. It was ridiculous. Joe Harris.
God bless him.
Joe freaking Harris, bro. I don't know what the hell he's been doing, but Joe Harris needs to know how to create his own shot, bro. he cannot create his own shot for shit, bro.
I see what happens with like some of those good role players when some stars come in, they get reliant on one. They're like put in to do one thing.
trick pony.
Yeah, and that kind of like just carries over to when he has to go back to, or one of the stars has to go back to their normal selves, making opportunities for other players and shots. It kind of slows them down.
But to me, I'm not putting this on how well Joe Harris plays. Because every time LeBron plays in a great game and his teammates don't do anything, we still kind of flame LeBron. So, I mean,
KD was 9 for 22.
This game's all about Kevin Durant. This series will be about Kevin Durant.
KD was still 9.
I don't want to hear about Joe Harris.
This is a must-win, I would say, for both teams because Milwaukee can get this series done if they win on the road.
Milwaukee can get in the driver's seat right here. They got to seize it. They got to really want this.
And I'll give a counter question to Zach because we were talking about Kevin Durant's legacy. It might hurt if they lose this series. What about Giannis if he loses this series and it's just KD? That's not a good look to me. I mean,
it's not.
It isn't
because now Milwaukee's team is better.
It is better.
It is gonna. So, it is, bro. I'll actually admit it. Like from a Nets fan, bro, it is, bro. But all I know.
Will it affect Giannis's legacy if he loses this round? To the Kyrie less and James Harden less Brooklyn Nets.
If Giannis loses this round?
Mm-hmm.
Without Kyrie and Harden.
Knowing that they don't have those two guys.
He's going to look lame as hell. He's going to look like an idiot.
100%. Yeah.
If he doesn't win this, just know, Giannis, bro, you're a dumbass. go to the gym and fix your form and your shot if you're not going to win this game.
I think this right here will affect his legacy tremendously if Giannis.
It's actually, yeah.
Well, it's just going to be another one of those losses that shouldn't have happened.
Because it's not even about them losing so much. It's about this might be their only window to actually get a ring.
Yeah.
This is their window.
This is their window right now to get a championship.
Same with Philadelphia.
They have to seize it right now or they'll never win. Because Philadelphia, those last 3 games, they look great.
I'm just checking the line to see what's going on with the betting, with my betting folks.
I mean, the Bucks are favored now to win the series.
Oh, shit, I actually.
The Bucks are favored.
I want to see what the line is for Game 5 because
probably like Bucks 4.5.
Yeah, but like with Giannis and KD, bro, if Giannis, this will affect both of them because it will show like this will go for KD. If you can't win like without anybody, then it looks like you need a superstar. With Giannis,
yeah,
it shows that you can't do anything with a role player team, bro.
So for Bucks
and Chris Middleton too.
Bucks take the series -190. I might have to play some Nets series bet.
But anyway, I was saying before. I mean, do you think that Kevin Durant is a winner?
100%.
Because that's what's going to be said after this.
100%.
No.
Yes.
No.
Do you think Kevin Durant's a winner?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
He does have 2 rings, which makes him a winner. But those rings were kind of easy.
And look at his regular season.
Let me give you my full answer.
But when Kevin Durant championships,
he does have 2 championships.
When it comes down to it, Kevin Durant has 1, but he's not a proven winner. If that makes sense in your head.
He has 1, but he's not a proven winner.
He has 1, but he's not a proven winner because he was on the best team of all time or the second best team of all time.
And now I'll even flip it to make it more positive. If KD were to win this series, maybe worst case scenario, Kyrie Irving's out for 2-3 weeks, which could actually be in the next round. And if he can make it to the finals without James Harden,
all the way to the finals,
James Harden and Kyrie Irving, because hamstrings are kind of weird. You could think you're healthy and then you could fuck it up again. But what would this say about KD if he were to actually make the finals without both of them being 100%?
It would say that he's the best player in the NBA.
Undisputedly.
Yeah.
And
unanimously, man.
Unanimously,
man.
He still said it wrong.
I will say if he carries to the final, best player in the league unanimously.
Now, damn the best player in the league. What do you say about him for a career?
For a career, I think it helps him a little bit. I already think that he's
help him a lot, man.
already up there.
Because it shows they can carry.
He's a top 10 player of all time
right now.
Yeah. Would you say he's a top 10 player?
So you kind of put me on the spot there. I'd have to really think.
And I'm just asking you that to see if he would move up inside the top 10 or if he's outside the top 10.
If he wins this
Would he move
championship,
inside?
then
I'm not
100%.
I think he's right on the brink of
100%.
10,
Yeah, he's on
10,
the
11.
borderline.
9, 10, 11, something like that.
Okay.
But
Now would that
if
move
you-
him up?
Oh fuck yeah! I mean, he's gonna be there no matter what at the end of his career. If he keeps playing like Kevin Durant is, because I mean I'm gonna say he's the best scorer of all time.
100%.
Yeah, I would say he's definitely the best
I
scorer
hated
of
when
all
people
time.
said Harden. They were just looking at like that little.
Harden's a
stretch of
great
numbers.
scorer,
And like,
but Kevin Durant gets you anywhere.
yeah.
Post game, 3-pointer, mid range, creating his own opportunity, shooting over everybody. You can't guard him. So like,
Well, all I have to say
it'll
is,
definitely move him up. Yeah.
all I have to say is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant and Giannis. Well, I'm gonna address Kevin Durant first. Kevin Durant, this is your chance to really get that bullshit narrative out everybody's
And it's
head.
not even about making it to the finals. I hate to interrupt. Win the series, and then we'll talk about what's going on next.
Kevin Durant, this is your time to let that bullshit narrative go. You probably don't really care about what other people say.
He doesn't.
He probably doesn't, but
I think in his head he does.
I mean, just to motivate, this is your time. You always wanted to be the same level or looked at the same level or look not even the same level but you want to be looked at as better than LeBron. 100%, undisputedly. This is your chance. And Giannis, this might be your only chance to win because I honestly feel that the two West teams that are probably going, even the three, even Clippers, Utah, and Phoenix, Milwaukee would be favorites in that aspect, except for the Suns, because I think the Suns would win.
You think Milwaukee would be favored over the Clippers and Utah?
I do.
Yeah.
I think they're
I do.
underdog to every
Yeah.
single one of those teams.
I don't think so.
100%.
I don't think so. I mean,
Wow.
I think they're better than
The East is
They're-
going to win this year.
they're better than Utah.
I disagree.
I can say that 100%.
How?
I know it sounds like I'm a really big Donovan Mitchell fan. It sounds like I hate on him all the time, but I mean, it's just I think in the Clippers,
Wait,
Paul George can't even play well in the first round, and if you expect him to play well in the finals, that ain't gonna happen.
How is Milwaukee 100% better than Utah?
100% better than Utah.
Way better.
I don't know how that makes
Way
sense.
better.
Way better. Go by each position. The only person
Way
that's
better.
not better is Donovan. Well, Donovan. Donovan's better than his matchup, but everybody
But think
else.
about the matchup
they're
down
better.
low when Giannis is trying to dunk all the time. Then now he has to go through Gobert.
But that's not. When Giannis goes hard to the rim, I mean, that's an easy foul out because they're going to give him the call. Whether he makes a free throw is a different story, but he's just as athletic. And Brook Lopez is a 3-point shooter. He's outside the paint. He's not going to be in the paint because he can't.
Yeah,
let
but
Brook
you've seen
Lopez
what the
open.
Nets did. Like they're putting KD on Brook Lopez because he's pretty much a non-factor.
Yeah,
inside
but the
anymore.
Jazz aren't going to do that.
That's fucking hilarious.
That scared me.
That's really funny.
That scared me. The Jazz, I think Milwaukee's better than the Jazz.
I think there's a ghost in the building.
He's going to everybody else.
100%.
Everybody on that team could shoot, and defensively, Milwaukee to me is a better team defensively. That's just my opinion. Drew
And they're
Holiday,
tall.
Drew
I
Holiday,
can't
And they're
disagree
tall.
with
Drew
your
Holiday,
opinion, but
Drew
I can't
Holiday, and
disagree
Mike
with Steve.
Conley. Drew Holiday and Mike Conley. They'll probably cancel out. They're around the same type level, on the same type level.
I would take Utah 100% actually.
I wouldn't. Donovan Mitchell will win that matchup against whoever's a starting
doesn't matter who's
shooting guard
guarding.
right. Yeah, Chris Middleton's winning that matchup against Bogdanovich.
100%.
Is he?
Giannis is winning.
Yes.
that
Whoa, is he?
Yes.
easily.
Chris
Yes.
Middleton.
Is
yes.
he?
Chris Middleton.
Oh, that's a good matchup.
No, it's not.
not
That's a good matchup.
No,
it's
no.
not. No, it's not.
Hell,
And then
hell no.
Hey, you know what?
He's
You know why
real
Utah
torture.
is?
no, it's not.
You know why Utah is better? Jordan Clarkson off the bench.
Okay, that's one bench player that can actually get you 20. Nobody else on their bench can do
Ain't
anything.
nobody on Milwaukee's bench getting you.
Forbes could get you 12 points. Connaughton can get you 6. Who else is on their bench? You're lucky I can't think of everybody right now. But like,
Yeah.
That's about it right now.
their bench is probably. You
Bench
just
is not
have
better.
one player on the bench that's just better than everybody else on Milwaukee's bench. But as a bench in a whole, Milwaukee's bench is better.
Like we saw it the other day. Like when Clarkson put up 24
Yeah.
and he outscored the whole Clippers bench. Like 24 as bench scoring is pretty good.
But
But when you
he's
could
a
have one
But,
guy,
it's
he's off the bench.
It's a sick. Yeah, but
He's off the bench.
he shoots a lot. Like they just let him. They let him go. He's like a Lou Will. Like they let him really just go.
That's a different
Go
topic
crazy.
of conversation. Hopefully, we could actually get to that.
It is
Utah,
like go crazy.
Milwaukee, would be kind
But
of fun.
Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee would win that in 6.
I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
on to the next because
They shoot just as well as Utah. maybe even better on some nights. And then I said on some nights.
Hold on, keep going. I'd
They'll
like to see the stats on that.
They'll shoot better. The stats can say whatever, but they can shoot with them.
I don't know if they can.
Forbes,
Utah
Middleton,
is
Holiday,
like the best shooting team in
Forbes,
the NBA.
Middleton, Holiday. Actually, the Clippers were. Forbes, Middleton,
I think Utah
Holiday.
was either one or two.
Forbes, Middleton, Holiday.
Who's guarding Holiday?
Pat Connaughton. No, I'm not calling him a shooter, but he could shoot. Brook Lopez could shoot. Bobby Portis could shoot, or he's a great scorer off the bench. Bobby Portis, Bobby Portis is a great scorer. So I like my chances with Milwaukee. The only team Milwaukee would lose to in the West is the Suns. That's just me. But
I think they're underdogs in every series.
I don't think so. Especially the Clippers, they'll beat the fuck out the Clippers. I'll put my life on that one.
The East is straight
I'll
up
put my life
going to
on
win. Like, that's
the
honestly.
Clippers, they might lose in 5 to Milwaukee.
The East is going to win. The East is going to win regardless.
Paul George can't play well in the first round. How is he going to play well in the finals? And that's really very important.
PG played well in the first round.
No, he didn't.
Against Dallas?
Last two, no, he didn't. He had an okay
Played well.
series. No, he didn't. He had an okay series. Game 6 and Game 7, when you needed him, he was 6 for 15 in Game 6, and then 5 for 15 in Game 7. That's not playing well.
Game 7, they won by 25.
Yeah, but he went. I'm looking at Paul George specific.
Paul George had a decent series.
Specific play.
I can't hate on him for that first round.
He had an okay series.
You hate on him for the first two games. Well, the first game really.
No. The first game was bad. The first game of the. Hold on, I can give you this stat. Actually, we'll talk about the Clippers on the.
Yeah, let's move on. Move on. We're branching
Clippers
on.
are a strange team.
Yeah.
They are a very strange team.
Because I actually have the stat on Paul George that'll blow your mind. But
all right,
I can do that.
So we will talk about them later. Okay, so we'll move on. Wow, that conversation could have went forever. Because I disagree. But Zach,
This is another thing Joe disagreed on, and I was right.
I think since we started this podcast, I've been wrong once. So I'll take my chances. Suns.
No, because we mostly agreed. We mostly agreed on a lot of things.
Suns got their sweep last night.
Like I said. I didn't say it was going to be a sweep because I wanted to give Jokic respect.
They got the sweep, but
is it disappointing for Denver? Not disappointing, I will say.
I want to talk about the ejection first.
You want to talk about the ejection? Go ahead, because I agree with the ejection there.
I do too, but I don't think it was the right time to eject him.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. If that was any other game, regular season, maybe even a blowout, then you eject him. But
so Jokic. So Jokic got ejected last night. When Denver was cutting the lead. He missed a shot. Campaign got the board, or had the ball anyway. And Jokic, for some reason.
But he does that a lot. In terms of like
lines up.
He does that a lot.
Went to foul, hit him in the face.
But
a little bit.
Yeah.
That's an ejection. Foul.
That's an ejection in any other game, but not this game.
Bro, if you are cutting the lead, right? I think he was fed up pretty much because
it was a close game.
If you want to foul the guy there.
No, but he does that foul a lot. I've seen him actually wind up and smack guys on the arm.
That was the worst time ever. That's on him, the ejection. The refs.
No, that's his fault.
That's his fault for doing it, but he does that a lot. He does that specific foul a lot.
But he got the guy.
No, he should have been ejected, but you don't eject the MVP in a close game.
I still would have.
He deserves it.
I would have ejected his
ass. No,
you know why? Because if I was that guy who got slapped, I would have got so pissed off. I would have literally told the ref, eject this guy right here, man. I would have said this guy's crazy.
No, that was.
I'm just saying because I've seen Jokic foul people like that.
But he hasn't hit a guy in the face yet.
Yeah, but he did it on purpose. Everybody knows he didn't do it on purpose because if he would have hit him on purpose, his hand would have hit his face.
Yeah, but if you wind up, and you accidentally hit a guy in the face.
That's a flagrant one.
It's a flagrant two.
That's actually a flagrant one.
This right here.
Any hit to the face. Any hit to the face is a flagrant one.
Bro, he completely
look at
the 7-foot guy against a 6'1" guy just absolutely slapped the shit out of him.
They're all NBA players. They're all NBA players. Look at the intent. Did he intend to hit him in the face?
He hit him in the face.
Did he mean to hit him in the face?
I mean, not really though.
He wound up at the ball.
Took his arm.
Look where his hand was. His hand was at the ball.
Okay, if you're gonna foul, that's a foul in the NBA. This right here with the
wind up look bad.
Wind up slap. That's so stupid.
The
You know,
windup looked bad.
That's
But
an
he,
ejection.
I'm just saying,
Ejection.
he should have got
That's an
ejected, but
That's
not
an
in this
ejection.
game. Not in
Get
this
his dumb ass out of here.
Not in this game.
He shouldn't like you're.
And truthfully,
if you're an NBA player, know how to
truthfully,
block somebody anyway.
even if Jokic stays in that game, they may not win. And even if they do, are they going to win 4 straight? No. So
Yeah, but that's like rule 101. You don't eject the main guy in a close game of a play.
he deserved it. That was on his
That's
on him.
That's just dumb.
All right, so
If you're
back
MVP,
to
you won't do that dumb shit anyway.
yeah, that was stupid. I think you just fed up, ready to go. So I'm not going to say disappointment, but like the season, the season as a whole for the Nuggets. To you, is it a disappointment?
I think it's a learning process. I think they're gonna grow off this. The only disappointment is that they probably would have beat. They played Phoenix, right? They probably would have beat Phoenix because they needed Jamal Murray. They needed that leader because if they had Jamal Murray, oh my God,
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr. would have been better. Who's the
Actually, I don't know. Porter was hurt. He hurt his back.
Well, here's the thing
Oh,
I
that
say.
is true. Though. That is true.
Yeah.
though.
Here's the thing I say
Michael
about
Porter Jr.
that.
was hurt though.
Murray would
You can't get swept and plug one player in there.
Murray would be a better option for them defensively on one of the guards than Campazzo or
And he will
Monte.
score. He will
And
get
he'll
you
put
at
up
least
some scoring
140.
numbers.
He will have 140-point game at least every series.
I wouldn't say it was
at least once.
I wouldn't say it was a disappointment, but how they lost was kind of disappointing. Like
Yeah.
they,
I would say the sweep.
I would not. I
is
would.
the sweep,
Yeah, I
the
wouldn't
sweep
get mad.
itself is disappointing, but not the actual them. Not
If I was
actually
Denver,
their
if I was
season.
Denver fans, I'll feel happy.
because I mean, if you
I'll
really
still
if
feel
you really
happy.
put it into context, yeah,
Except the Jokic.
if you put it into context, yeah, they did have the MVP, but Phoenix did have were the second seed. So I mean,
If I'm Denver, I am disappointed.
oh, of course you're disappointed if you're Denver.
Just because how the season went
Yeah.
for them with the Jamal.
they had a
Murray
good
injury.
season. Yeah.
And Aaron Gordon was god awful.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. to
Get his
him.
trash free agency. Buy him out.
I don't even think he's a free agent.
He said buy him
Buy him
out.
out. Buy
He's
him
not
out.
that bad.
No, he's trash. I didn't.
But I would
I
say
didn't no highlight reel of him.
as a just looking at Denver season, for them it's disappointing, but on the outside, solid season, second round exit without your second best player, who's also becoming one of his own, nearing that superstar-ish range.
No, he's all-star right now.
Yeah, he's all definitely.
Yeah, but based off the last year's playoffs.
I'm gonna base it off his regular season. He had a pretty bad regular season.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
He wasn't like
he's becoming
after that bubble. Everybody was he took that step. Like he's about to come back and be real.
yeah.
nasty.
At first, I
and
didn't
then
think so.
then he didn't do it. Even in the games he was there and healthy and there, it still wasn't Jamal Murray in the bubble. It still wasn't Jamal Murray in the bubble, and he didn't take that step as everybody thought he would have.
Yeah.
So if I'm going by the last time I saw him, the Suns would have won.
I still think
The
that
Suns would've won in
Jamal
five.
Murray would have stepped
You
up
can
in
ask the next
playoffs.
question.
He would step up during
When you're
playoffs.
ready.
Still, I think Jamal Murray would definitely. Do
Yeah,
it in
I'm
playoffs,
sure.
though.
I'm sure he would.
Like 100%.
Now there was a lot of talk about because Jokic.
I'm gonna go in on this topic, by the way.
We might agree. We might
I
agree.
don't think we're agreeing,
Interesting.
but we'll see. We haven't talked about it yet.
All right, so there's a lot of talk saying Jokic, if he wins, will probably be the worst MVP ever. What do you guys think? Does this series
I'll let
prove that
Zack
he
go
was
first.
Does this series prove he was the worst MVP ever?
Repeat that question one more time. I
Does
had a
this
phone
series
call on.
does this series prove that Nikola Jokic was the worst MVP ever?
If he won or if he lost?
No, right? He lost.
All right.
Does this prove he was the worst MVP?
Yeah, I'll say yeah. Because like that ejection, he shouldn't
You can go
like
next.
that was a very dumb play. He
All
should
right,
have like he
Based
cost
on
the
his-
season.
Based on
If
the
we're being honest,
ejection,
I'll say off the ejection because
that made it the worst MVP.
yes.
They were down 3-0. He didn't really cost them
Yes.
anything.
No, but the thing is, they could have still won the game though. You don't know.
They
who won the
could've.
game. If it wasn't for that ejection, and if he knew how to play basketball and actually put his hands up and actually go for the ball instead of the face, he would have dropped buckets. Maybe, I don't know.
No, we're talking about his MVP season.
It's
Oh, it's
season.
all the regular season.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, he's definitely not a disappointment. He's definitely
Solid
yeah,
MVP
solid,
season?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what we're talking
yeah,
about.
definitely a solid.
well, what's your
MVP
take on that?
I
Because I
don't-
just want to hear you.
I don't think he was the worst MVP.
Nah,
We
no.
agree. Okay.
Yeah, I knew he would
But
have.
that was a dumb play.
I knew he
was
would've
Scared the shit.
I knew we were gonna agree on
Yeah.
that. I don't think he's the worst MVP ever.
What was his stats? Like he had
26, 11, and 8.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
His
bro.
team was a 3rd seed in the West.
Yeah.
13-5 without Jamal Murray down the stretch.
Beat Portland.
Beat Portland, yeah.
He dominated Portland, even though the MVP is not a playoff award.
And think about it, I actually think Nash was the worst MVP, but that's a discussion.
I was gonna say, I swear to God, that's who was running in my mind, bro. Steve Nash.
But we don't gotta talk about it.
I swear to God, I was gonna say
15
Steve
points per
Nash.
game, you win the MVP.
Whatever.
Whatever. That 15 points, whatever.
And who?
Whatever.
Kobe, I was gonna say that.
Kobe lost to average 35, scored 81, 62 and 3/4. My motherfucker don't get that. Whatever. But we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
Although he didn't really play that well in the Sun series.
It's not a playoff award.
It's not a playoff award. So I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about playoff.
I would actually
No. He wasn't the
the
worst MVP.
I would go far enough to say that this was actually one of the most impressive MVP seasons. And I have a few reasons why.
Actually, low key.
It's not impressive because he didn't win.
It's very low key.
I have a few reasons why. Just his season, his MVP season. The first center to win MVP since you know who.
Shaq.
Which is one of the all-time.
In a day where they said centers can't win.
Right? So centers can't win in nowadays NBA. So this guy, his whole game is he's a guard in a big man's body who could also bang in the post. I'd also say this MVP season, just being the MVP this year after a rush season and coming into this year, and with everything else that's going on in the world, playing out of your mind, that's another reason why I think this.
Other reason to me, not to cut you off, but he played every game this week.
Yeah.
That's very tough to do.
He doesn't sit.
It's very tough to do.
And I would also say I'm gonna say it now. The Denver Nuggets around Jokic. Without Murray, nowhere to be found. Campazzo, Monte Morris, Michael Porter, not good.
I
thought it was a really impressive MVP.
From that, I do, but to me, second round isn't impressive. The second round loss isn't impressive. And then also,
So we were talking about KD. He has to do by himself because there's not one really good player on one team.
Yeah. And
does it by themselves nowadays because everyone has 2 or 3 besides one team, which is Utah to me. But
it's impressive. But
you can't win that way. And the fact that we didn't think he was going to be Portland.
But to me, it's not the fact that he lost that made it's just
the
he
way
got
he lost.
Swept. It's like you can't get swept and you're the MVP. Honestly, I didn't pick them to win the series.
Let me put it this way.
But
bigs can't win. That's the narrative, right?
But is it wrong? Right now, it is kind of right.
Think about it. 30, 20, 10.
Yeah, one game.
He can't guard the guards. Campazzo, Monte Morris, and Austin Rivers were getting diced by Booker and Chris Paul all season.
Inevitable, though.
That's not on him.
They're dicing anyway.
That's not on him.
It's not, but it is kind of on him.
No, it's not.
Chris Paul's success was all based off him. He can't guard him in a pick and roll.
Chris Paul's success was based off Campazzo and Monte Morris.
That screen and roll, he basically got every point off a screen and roll. I didn't see him really take anybody.
Devin Booker too.
Yeah, but he can't guard up.
Austin Rivers.
He has to stay in a drop coverage because he can't match Chris Paul going to the basket. So Chris Paul he was doing whatever he wanted to. And when you set a screen in the NBA now, you switch. So basically, he got all his points. Chris Paul's all his points were scored on
that pick and roll was too hard.
You can't guard him. So Chris Paul, that has a lot to do with why
his
they
guards
lost.
didn't help.
But what can they do? They're getting screened against guys like DeAndre Ayton, who's actually
damn screen.
Yeah, but what does that do? Chris Paul's still going to get by you, and Jokic still has to step up, and that's still cooks. That's tough. That's hard. And if you try to fight through the screen and you don't get through the screen, then Ayton's just going to roll, and he's right there, and with Campazzo on. There was no way Phoenix were going to lose this series.
You just got to vote for.
But anyway, I don't think. But I think
the matchups with this series it was just too much.
Yeah, it was too much.
It was showing that it was too much.
It was. And then honestly, even with Jokic winning the MVP, you can't get swept. That's number one. That cannot happen. So that kind of took points off how impressive it was. It was still a good season.
Really.
You can't get swept.
Yeah, you can't.
Not a good MVP. You cannot ever get swept.
You cannot.
You can't ever get swept and win MVP.
At least one game, bro.
I'm not saying you could. I'm not saying win the series. You cannot get swept. That's kind of embarrassing. You cannot get swept if you're the MVP.
I mean,
and then plus,
in this case, I disagree, but I'm not gonna argue.
But then but one game we've seen stars, the real MVP. Not really, he was a real MVP. But like we've seen MVPs, even though they've lost, they've won at least once. Allen Iverson played against the freaking Lakers in 01.
Jason Tatum.
What?
Jason Tatum.
What
he beat the Nets.
He's not an MVP.
I think you're talking about at least one game who won.
Bro, we're talking about MVPs. Allen Iverson was the MVP that year. Were they realistically going to beat the Lakers?
I don't have to go that far back last year.
Hell no. But I'm just going to say it. He at least got a game and had 48. At least he had a game where he won.
He had his 48 and got a game, but Jokic had 30, 20, and 10. It just wasn't enough.
Didn't get a game.
It just wasn't enough.
So, you're the MVP. You kind of have to make it enough to get a game. You got to have to make it enough.
30, 20, 10.
Instead of 30, instead of 10.
What else do you need? You need 40, 30, and 20?
No, instead of 10, get 5 assists and get 50.
Yeah.
Like, if you that's what it has to be. At the end of the day, the stats are nice, but it's all about, do you score more points than another team? That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Can you defend and can you outscore your opponent? The triple doubles are cool, but he probably should have cut 10 assists to 5 and had 40. And they probably could have
Can't force shots.
You kind of have to in that situation. You're by yourself.
Not really, because those 5 assists turned into points. So
You can't really. It's not really so much of the way he plays.
Think about it. Those 5 assists turned into points anyway. So if he cut 5 off and scored 5 more buckets, it's the same ratio.
When he's scoring, it's a difference.
Because that guys are open, so he can pass it to them.
When he's scoring, it's
the
difference.
same amount of points, no matter what.
Nah, but he has to. It's on him. He 10 assists is cool, but him getting 40 is kind of it's one shot. If Jokic is one shot, one pass, because you're basically passing him is one shot. If you're scoring, that means you shot at least 6 more times. So that's probably more points already. If you cut the assist in half and shoot instead of doing those assists, it looks better. Go 13 for 40, basically. Like Kawhi did in Game 7. Like LeBron did almost every damn playoff game. That was like a closeout game, except for last year. Shoot as many you got to. Because, at the end of the day,
it's a tough one.
Nobody's saying Campazzo lost in the second round. No. They're saying Jokic lost. So, it's...
Jokic lost in the second round. I think everyone in the world understands why Denver couldn't get a game.
Yeah, but they got it. No, they have to. I'm just saying, if you're an MVP in that same season, you cannot get swept. That's never happened before.
It's a regular
season award. It happened like 3 other times.
That's embarrassing.
No, it's embarrassing. You can't get a
regular season award.
Yeah, but so you're still the MVP. Just because it's a playoffs, it don't go away. You're still the MVP.
Does that the Phoenix show you enough that now they can win it all? Title, even against a healthy Nets team.
I said it.
Hell no, not a healthy Nets team. If we're talking about a healthy Nets team, are we including
James Harden and Kyrie Irving there?
And Spencer Dinwiddie?
No.
All right.
Come on. Man.
All right, James Harden. If we're gonna have James Harden or Kyrie, even just both of them, at least one, we're gonna be Phoenix.
All right. So what if it's just KD and maybe it's Milwaukee or Philly that comes out?
Who like
Milwaukee? If Milwaukee wins and they play Philly and
Milwaukee will win. Milwaukee will win.
So Phoenix didn't prove to you that they would.
Milwaukee's too big. Like they're too big. Their guards are way too big. Drew Holiday's a way better defender than Campazzo, whatever his name was.
Campazzo.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Campazzo never lost.
Oh
no,
yeah.
He's saying Drew Holiday against
anything. Yeah,
that hot pick and roll is dangerous. DeAndre Ayton is big.
So that's
a big team. That's a very big team. I don't know. And Giannis is I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think Giannis is a better paint defender than Jokic?
By far.
Do you think that?
Yes.
You think I honestly think.
But they won't switch. They won't switch for Giannis. They'll switch for Lopez.
Yeah, they'll go right out.
So laterally is a faster.
What I'll
do,
I will shift over Giannis, and then obviously gonna have Lopez.
That's who they're running it at. Like they're running that at Lopez. They're not gonna set a screen for the defensive player of the year to guard Chris Paul.
That's gonna be a tough one.
Chris Paul can still get a shot.
I think they would actually put. They're gonna get Lopez no matter what in that area because all of their players can do it. Yeah. I think if that was a matchup, I actually think they'd have Giannis on Ayton.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what
they would. So
then they find Crowder or Bridges.
Then Crowder would have to guard Lopez, and so then Lopez a pick and pop that's kind of dangerous too because they shoot threes.
Oh no, they didn't prove to you that they're ready for a championship yet.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
No, they are ready, but I don't think they're gonna beat Milwaukee.
I will.
I think it did. I mean, they dominated the MVP. I mean, the Suns can win it all.
I mean, what was the
and
record?
especially with the Nets injuries, I think they'll beat Philadelphia.
What was the record during the regular season between them?
The Nets moved to who?
When Phoenix played Milwaukee.
I can't tell you.
I never heard of that. That's a weird series.
I can't tell you.
That's a very weird series.
Very interesting
Milwaukee.
I agree with
I
you.
can't write off.
That's a very strange series.
I think they'll beat Philadelphia because they're just gonna. I mean,
they're gonna beat Philly.
They'll beat Philly because
Ben
Suns won both.
Because of Ben Simmons.
But they won both by 1 point.
That's against Milwaukee.
I can't really say anything. That's a really tough one, but I think Milwaukee won.
I mean, it's kind of a style thing too. Phoenix's style is different than Milwaukee's.
If Chris Paul's lights out every single game, does to no turnovers,
which he'll probably do.
He'll probably do.
Have you ever seen him where he gets like 4 or 5 turnovers in a game?
No,
like I've never
really
seen that happen.
If Chris Paul still
so
plays
you think
like
they did prove?
I think they did prove they can win. Obviously, we're talking in terms of the Nets not being there.
Chris Paul never been to a championship though.
No sir. But he's a little different.
He's one of those guys. He's ready though.
He's one of those guys that's is a little different.
Can't say that yet. I've never seen him there, so I'm not sure.
I feel like he is one of those guys. He's kind of.
But you can't say that yet.
I know you can't, but I would have faith that I would put my money he plays. He does what Chris Paul does. Because the way he plays, it's not like he can really have a bad day.
Yeah, you can.
He might not really shoot well, but he won't have a bad day.
No.
Because he just it's weird. He's like his presence alone is like real
it's
heavy.
Insane.
Like
That's
just his being
I would actually say
very huge.
For the question, I would say that Phoenix definitely has a chance. But I also think every team in the playoffs right now, besides Atlanta, has a chance to win the finals right now.
So do I.
So yeah, sure. They proved to me. I think they proved to me that they were like able to win the championship or contend for a championship after the Lakers series. So
yeah, because I mean they can do it because they're not just like a 3-point shooting team. They do that the best. Probably better now.
Well, they're a great mid-range.
They're a great mid-range shooting team, and when it comes down to some teams, that's why Houston Rockets can never win with James Harden. It was literally just 3-pointer.
It was so disgusting.
It was literally 3-pointer or die because people want to say the Warriors were just a 3-point shooting team.
It's not true.
But when shit got real crazy for them, or when shit went bad, they were going to the bucket. They were throwing lobs to Iguodala on that play.
Yeah,
Kevin Durant was going mid-range. Clay post up.
Get to the rim, whatever.
Get to the rim. They weren't just a one-trick pony. Sometimes people have a tendency of saying the thing you do best is the only thing you do, and that's couldn't be further from the truth. Because when shit breaks down, Devin Booker could get you a mid-range bucket. Chris Paul could get you a mid-range bucket. DeAndre Ayton could get
possibly
14 and in because he's a okay mid-range shooter.
He is a good mid-range
shooter. He's pretty okay.
He can shoot.
I still question why they don't extend him because out of college he was a decent 3-point shooter. Yeah. I've never seen him shoot.
I mean he's a good mid-range shooter, but he's a great finisher. So they basically have 4 different ways where they could get a bucket. Cameron Payne, to a lesser degree, could get to the cup. He could get his own bucket to a lesser degree.
He's a solid point guard.
Dario Saric could post up and shoot threes. They have multiple guys that could do multiple things.
Dario Saric.
They could do multiple
Bridges,
things. Bridges who could defend. He could get to. I haven't really seen it a lot, but Crowder, all he does is shoot. So we're not.
Crowder's been there a lot.
I'm talking about offensively, but defensively, we know that he's a beast.
Bridges is starting to make his own shot a little bit too.
Cameron Johnson could put the ball on the floor a little bit. I've seen it. So, I mean, you got multiple guys that can actually be effective in other ways than just shooting.
I think we forgot about one real one.
Kaminsky?
Frank the Tank. I'm just joking.
He's a pretty
solid.
Good offensive
player. All right,
so
you want to ask Zach the next because we have to move on from that.
All right. Jazz Clippers.
Wow.
You missed one.
Who did I miss? Oh, excuse me. So you think Chris Paul's in that discussion if you could start a franchise with one team? If you could start a franchise with one player, do you think Chris Paul's there? Would you pick? Would he be a pick for you?
Yeah,
I would say that too. He's in that
His floor
discussion.
general is really crazy.
Every team
Like,
he's
his floor
on gets
general is
better,
really good.
and we've seen him do a lot more with
We've
less.
seen it with every single team he's been with.
New Orleans didn't have really much anything.
New Orleans was a joke.
He was in an MVP discussion, I think in 09 or 08.
Yeah.
He was always in the playoffs. They can never win because their teams just weren't better.
And some
I agree.
there's some
there's not
Chris
much to
Paul, I'll
argue
take
about
it.
here.
I think he's in that discussion to where if you could start, he could do more with less. You saw that in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They all played well, but nobody thought they would take jumps. And I honestly do think in large part that was due to Chris Paul.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to our final topic. So tonight's game, Clippers versus Jazz.
Yeah.
That was funny.
A huge game. A huge game because
That's an insane game.
I mean, it can be the series right now, 3-1. It's
Donovan
2-1.
Mitchell.
It's 2-1.
Donovan Mitchell now, that ankle, I'm not saying it's
He
serious.
says he's fine, but we'll
But you
see.
gotta monitor it. You
Got
gotta
to.
look at. You see, LeBron was fine too, but you could tell he wasn't 100%.
Here's the big question,
So-
and I know everyone listening loves hearing this question too. I'm going to start with Zack. Paul George. First game played awful. Second game started the game awful when we were doing the live updates at your house.
Yeah.
And then after we finished the episode, he played really well, dude. And the game they still lost. Is he ready to roll?
Do you think he broke the mold, basically? Do you think he broke that?
Absolutely not.
So do I.
Absolutely not.
I don't trust that motherfucker.
Yeah,
I mean, wait, didn't one game he had 6 threes though?
Yeah, last game. 12 for 14, 6 for 10 on threes. But I don't.
Really
Like,
good.
he's not doing it tonight though, bro.
Now, this is what I want. We were talking about Paul George earlier. This is what I really wanted to tell you about Paul George if he's not playing well in the first round, second round, or if he's just playing okay.
I said about this year.
Yeah.
This year.
Or if he's just playing okay. I just have a
So he's
thing
playing
overall.
decent. Well,
I don't think in game 3 it was kind of a blowout, so there was really no pressure in that game because they started off real well. But he had more bad games than good ones in this playoffs. Think about it.
Yeah.
playoffs or the
Think
first
about
round?
it.
That's a fact.
In just the playoffs alone.
That's a
Oh, yeah,
fact.
because
There were only
Six
3 games. Yeah, there were only 3 games he shot over 50%. They played 10 playoff games. There were only 3 games he shot over 50%. 4 games where he shot 40% or lower from the field, not just from 3.
and the other three is in
From
the
the
middle.
field, and the other 3 were
What is he
44.
doing?
He's playing decent.
So
But when he plays bad,
But-
he's bad games.
but keep in
That's the thing.
mind, those games where he shot under 40%, 2 of them were elimination. So
Yeah, bro.
I don't know. We're getting a mix of everything right
now-
now. We're getting good Paul George, we're getting ass Paul George, and we're getting playoff P. Which is,
so now he has so many of
He's not
those.
ready.
He has so many of those in a series where it doesn't really look bad, but in those elimination games and those game 3 pivotal moments, he doesn't play well.
So he's not ready.
I don't think he's
not
ready.
ready. He's
This game was a big game, and granted, he did play well.
But-
Which all respect in the world. He
but-
played great that last game.
tonight's even
It
bigger.
was huge. But
Tonight's even bigger.
Yeah.
tonight's even
This
bigger.
is the biggest game of the series.
Tonight's even bigger.
Because it's
So-
either 3-1 or it's going to be 2-2. It's a whole new series.
So that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
so every game from now on is kind of big for the Clippers because you go 2-2. Game 5 is, I think they have a stat where if it's 2-2 and there's a game 5, 75% who wins game 5 wins the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
it's gonna be crazy.
you know what's kind of funny? Their first
Yeah.
series. Not to interrupt you.
No, yeah, go
Their
ahead, I'm
first
done.
series. It was what home team was going to win at home to win that series.
That's funny. That's crazy. Right?
Now it's
What road team?
what road team,
Yeah,
which
man.
it normally is, but now it's what road team is going to step up, take that
Yeah.
road game, and I really hope it's Utah tonight. But I mean, it's crazy how their series.
And I have
just
another thing.
completely switched.
The Clippers, Kawhi Leonard had 6 games where he didn't have 30 in this postseason. They're 2-4.
He's got to be there.
He's got to have 30.
And he knows that.
We're
though.
not talking about
Oh my
25,
gosh, bro.
5-5 or whatever. A great Kawhi Leonard type game. He needs to have 30. They have a losing record when he doesn't have 30. So their title
why you
hope.
need Paul George.
Their title hopes. That yeah.
Do
Paul
something,
George
bro.
can't
Help your
Paul
man.
George-
Help your man.
We can
Drop
say
the ball.
playing
Drop
mid
it
is
now, man. Drop it.
We can say playing
In the
mid is
buckets.
we can say playing mid is okay, but it's not gonna win you a championship. So I mean,
No, definitely not.
so they both have to.
Paul
Kawhi
George
has to
is
be
smoking
great.
the mid pack right now. He's smoking the mid pack.
Kawhi has to be great, and Paul George has to be good. He can't just be He has to
No.
be good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Kawhi great, Paul George good.
Like
You
game
do-
2.
You do that. Now, do I think they do that in the finals? Kawhi could do it, but I don't think Paul George is capable of doing it.
No, he's definitely not.
They're playing good for however many games in a
I
row.
don't know. I've never
I
seen
can't.
it.
That's
So.
why I
Shit,
can't.
I
see
think
it.
Reggie Jackson
But you've seen it in
had a better game
not.
in the game.
But
Paul
you've
George the one game.
Yeah,
bro.
so you've seen it in lesser and more and less real first round, second round type games. We've never, but in the finals, that to me, based off his history and only a first round, you kind of have to apply that in the finals.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say the Clippers, if they make it, wouldn't beat Milwaukee.
Bro.
It's all up for discussion. Do you have a prediction for the rest of the Jazz series? How it'll end up?
What is the series?
2-1.
2-1
2-1.
Jazz.
Yes, sir.
I think it's gonna go to a game 6. I think it's gonna go to a game 6.
Who's winning in 6?
The Jazz. The Jazz.
Unless Paul George stops drinking so much Hennessy and acting like he's a Hennessy guy, bro, or 1738. I'm 17. He be drinking that 1738, man. I'm telling you, if Paul George,
I think I know what he meant, but
Yeah.
Is it really 1738? That's what they used to say.
yeah,
You messed it up already.
No, but for real though, Paul George, like, can you just help Kawhi Leonard, bro? Like, just help your boy, man. Like,
And there's actually
the hangouts.
Hangouts.
Anyway, so you got Utah
Oh,
6.
man.
And even if you could actually make a discussion that Reggie Jackson was their second most important player.
yeah,
bro, literally, he
scored like 25 one game.
Guys,
bro.
I am not saying he is better than Paul George.
No, he's not better.
By any means.
He's not better than Paul
Should be open
George.
Diego Snapchat of the podcast, bro.
Oh my gosh, man.
Oh my gosh.
All right, what's your prediction?
But you could honestly say
Game
that.
6,
You could honestly
Jazz.
say that Reggie
Game
Jackson
Game
is the
6,
second
Jazz.
most important player. But 2 big shots in game 7. But,
If Paul George plays good, I'll
Will,
take
what's
the
your prediction?
Clippers.
my prediction, honestly,
But game 6
I think
Jazz.
it's going to be a 7-game series.
I was thinking of that.
But I
was
kind of
thinking
don't
of
know
that
who's going to win.
because of Paul George.
I'm
He's
gonna-
so streaky.
It is.
bro.
It's kind of based off of
Paul
him.
George.
Honestly,
I think I
think
really
it'll
think
go
this.
7.
I'm not trying to just start conversation. I really think Jazz are gonna win 2 in a row. I do.
You think they're gonna win at 5?
I think they're gonna win 5.
I mean, that's such a weird like
Here's how I
dynamic.
think-
Paul George is gonna have
The
one good
Clippers
game.
are
He's
so.
gonna have
The
one
Here's
good
how I
Clippers
game.
are. But the thing is,
Clippers are hit and miss.
he's already had a good game. So now, can you have 2 in a row?
Here's,
Yeah,
here's
four-
my thought
three-
process.
3 in a row.
Here's my thought
Oh,
process.
my
He's
God.
already had his good game, so we don't know.
Here's my thought
Oh
process.
my god.
That's a big part of it. If Paul George sucks tonight, Utah's probably gonna take it.
100%.
And I don't think that they're gonna lose at home. I really don't.
That's fair.
And I think if the Clippers go down 3-1, they're the type of team to sit down and just let it happen too. Once they go down,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all about Paul George.
even though they did come back in
To
2
me,
one
the
last
Clippers
time.
are such a real like.
It's
You
a-
never know.
You never know.
It's all because it's Paul
That's why
George.
that's
You
why I like
really
Utah.
never know. Like they could come out tomorrow and
And it's
tonight
not-
actually.
You guys
They
want
It's
to make
not
a little
now.
They could come
funny
out.
thing
They
real
could come
quick?
out tonight and
Yeah.
hit like 33s today. Did that type
If
of team.
Utah wins in 5, let's make something up here. If Utah wins in 5, I will buy a Donovan Mitchell jersey.
Okay,
One? All right.
he's a good player. I would buy a jersey.
I'll buy a
But
jersey
I'm
too.
an OKC fan, so
2018.
Oh my
actually I might have to
gosh,
buy
No, I want you to
a
buy
Derek Favors.
Yes, I was going to say
Derek
Joe Ingles,
Favors.
but whatever floats your boat, my guy.
Oh
We'll
man.
think about it.
Joe
But
Ingles.
we'll make,
gonna say
we'll
Joe
make it
Ingles.
happen. We'll make it
I was
happen.
going to say Joe Ingles, but yeah, man. So I think it's probably going to go 7.
Yeah.
I just,
I'll go with 6.
but it's just they're so up and down. You just don't even really ever know.
Yeah, man. So, let's get to it.
Excuse me 1 second.
All right,
Rush, I hope you're reading this.
Reading, we're talking.
Talking. Hopefully we have the captions. Please help Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard.
SOS.